Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here. We get a list of 18 properties, and I hope you had a great weekend, great family day. I was sick coming into the weekend, managed to spend a bit of time with my kids, partly because my wife was sick and I was forced to look after them. But you never want to say that because it's always a pleasure looking after the kids. I actually have two bracelets on my wrist, okay? So the first one is Rainbow Lumen, if parents know what I'm talking about. The second one is actually a bracelet from an organization called Journey for Jacob. Jacob is about the same age as my daughter. She's 5 years old. And so Jacob was diagnosed with cancer at a very early age. And so he has progressed very well, shown a tremendous amount of strength and courage. And why I wear it is because it reminds me that tomorrow is never guaranteed with anybody, including your kids. So I think about what if Vivian was in that position, how my life would change, and certainly how I treasure each day with her. So we try the best we can. Sometimes it takes a loss of someone in our life to remind us of that. So I hope that Family Day was really about family or just people you care about, that you managed to spend some time with someone you really enjoy spending time with. So let's get to today's list. There's 18 properties. This one on Main Street, it's a Hampton model. It's just under 900 square feet. I think they did a nice job with the floors. Fourth floor means you get that nice high 12-foot ceiling. The problem is once you start getting close to 300, you're competing with two-bedroom condos. So this is one of the larger 1+1s. And like we talked about last week, a two-bedroom always trumps a 1+1. I believe that's a park. It's hard to tell. I think there's the park over on this side. The only thing here is that you probably change the appliances out just because the cupboards are nice, the floors look good, the higher ceiling. If you take it up a level, you can do it pretty easily with some new appliances. So it compares well to what else is out there. How close is it going to be to those two bedrooms to start bumping up? Ferguson is $324,900. Not a lot for sale, really. This is a freehold home. There's not a lot under $350 at all. I'll show you one other one in today's list. Freehold home, and I'm not sure the size. It's attached to a common element, a condo, which is the road, right? So you're paying $47 a month for the purpose of garbage and snow removal on that road, but what you own is actually a freehold place. So it's called POTL, Parcel of Tied Land. There's a special offer form you've got to use when you're buying these because it's almost halfway between a freehold and a condo. But I think those fees will be pretty stable. I can't see them going up a whole lot. Very small eat-in kitchen, which is something a lot of the Mattamy homes don't have. And I look at this and say, why didn't you just open the screen instead of taking a picture through it? So here's the thing. So extra $50 a month, it would be like paying $10,000 more for this condo when you look at how much per month. But it's still, I think, in a good range where it's going to attract a lot of attention. They're looking for an April 28th close. Whenever you see that date specified, you know it's an important day. So Deverell is $339,000. Same model as the one for sale on Short Read right now at $344,900, which has an offer on it. I don't know what it's going to sell for because it's still conditional, but $339,000. This one hands down is way better than the other one, and I think they're going to do well. I think that there's a high tide and a low tide with these models based on demand. One good sale, one bad sale can really change the climate. You won't find more upgrades or a better looking home than this when you're talking about this particular model. I think it'll do well. 2-car parking in the driveway doesn't necessarily change the value much, but it changes it can sometimes open your audience up, and it is a little bit of a nice thing to have. So beautiful looking place. They're holding back on offers on this one. I have a feeling it's really going to raise the bar on these models. So the Short Read one is probably going to sell for a good number because of scarcity of competition. That one has scarcity and it has a good looking home. So let's see what happens. Duncan Lane is $389,900. Right across from train tracks, which is not my preferred. Funny enough, it has negligible effect on value based on what we've seen in previous sales, but I still wouldn't want it if it was my house. 1337 square feet. I find this room very narrow, and that's all you have really is just this spot here, so it can be tough to arrange furniture. And then you've got a kitchen with an eat-in. Nice high ceilings on this one, which I think will certainly help them. I like some of the other models better. I think some of the Mattamy ones listed for the same price are actually a little bit more functional in the way they're set up. Seacourt is $398.9. Dorset Park, 50 by 120 foot lot. We've seen, like, there's some nice versions of this one for sale right now for like $469. Hardly anything lists in this neighborhood at $398, so you probably have a $50,000 buffer. If you buy this one and put 50 in, there's a good chance you're going to make your money back. I don't know what it looks like. There's no pictures. Maybe it's not that nice inside. Maybe it's beautiful. Here's the thing. If I'm looking at doing a rental on this one, what do I look at? 5-year-old shingles, which means I probably have 10 years left on that. You've got a new furnace 2013. So there's things about this one structurally that I do like. I like the fact I'm not going to have to come in and do the roof and do the air conditioning and furnace. Although actually there's no air conditioning on this one. Anyway, I like the structural part of it. If the house just needs updating, I think someone could find this one to be a good opportunity. McKay Crescent, 414.9. It's an end unit croft side, 1360 square feet plus a finished basement. And nice quiet street. McKay, if you don't really live on it, there's no need to go on it. Nice offset tile in the kitchen too. And 3 bedrooms upstairs. The master, it looks like actually that could be the full. I'm not sure if they put an extra bathroom into this one. Usually the master ensuite is just a shower, and then there's also a full bathroom out in the hallway too. There's your finished basement, and there's your yard. Overall, here's the thing. The newer version of this is called an Emery model. We did see an Emery with a finished basement, very well kept, sell at around $415. This one at $414.9. Usually the older croft sides don't get up to that range, but really there's like 10 square feet difference between them. So I understand what sale they're looking at. I don't know if this model, if somebody's going to see a croft side and think, well, the last one with the finished basement sold for like $400,000. So we'll see what happens. I think depending on what set of information you look at, again, there's not a whole lot for sale right now, which leads me to believe they're probably going to get a really nice sale price at the end of the day. Harvest is $424.9. You've got a garage and a half, which means you can have a car, plus you can have some kids stuff, or you can have a motorcycle in here too if you want. It's a 3-bedroom home with a finished basement, L-shaped living dining around the kitchen, and they've got a sunroom in the back. I don't know how structurally sound that is. I mean, some sunrooms I've been in, it feels like a trampoline. Others are rock solid. So just make sure you get a home inspection on that. You can also check with the town to see if a permit was actually created to build that out. It is in line with what else is sold, I think, for that price range. So Woodward, $469. There's a beautiful back split on Cabot that has more upgrades than this one that's listed at the same price. And I thought it showed extremely well, same size lot, this and that. And Cabot's a little bit quieter than Woodward, so they may be a little bit on the high side. Donovan is $479. It's a semi-detached, 1644 square feet. The thing about this one, there's only one room here. It is a very big room. And then you've got a kitchen with a big breakfast area. You got lots of space to even put probably an 8-seat table in here. You can buy larger semis for this price. You can also buy, even start to get up into a detached range. If you're paying $480 for a semi, you do have choices for detached homes too. It's well kept inside. The thing about Heathwoods is I'm never surprised by what they sell for. I mean, the townhouse, 1,600 square foot townhouse, the Robindale sells for like $430, $440. So I get where they're pricing this one. I understand the method behind it. It still seems like, I still wonder if I would pay the extra premium for the Heathwood. They're very well built homes. They have nice upgrades, they have nice finishes. People take good care of these homes because they do pay a little bit more for them. Let's see what happens. I could see it going both ways on this. I could see some buyers saying that's a little bit high for what you're getting, but I could also see the quality factor and the premium for the actual builder getting a very solid number for them. So Turner, $530. Let's be honest, it doesn't have the nicest curb appeal. It's about 2,200 square feet. Inside, there's a lot of work that I could see somebody walking in and saying, I got to replace the floors, I got to redo the kitchen. So there is some work here. It's not extremely expensive. It's a pain in the butt, and it's messy to do the flooring and the tiles, but it's not hard. And I look at this and I say, you know what? It's a nice layout. It's a very, very solid layout. This one on Laidlaw is almost the after version. Although you can't change the outside of the home, you can give the other one a lot more curb appeal, even with siding. But inside this one, for $30,000 more, you have a nice kitchen. You've got good flooring here. The fireplace has been well kept. I think this one is a steal. I bet this one doesn't last a week. I bet you it sells very quick. There's not a lot for sale, and the $550 to $600 range is a very, very common price range for a buyer to upgrade either from a smaller detached or a semi or a town, and it's got it going on. Great deal. Probably my favorite pick of the day today. We have a home similar size to this one on a nice 113, almost an old Milton sized lot. It's coming out on Zimmerman. It's going to be out later this week on Friday. I'll give you first peek at it, but it's got a huge property and it's very well done. There's a sub-zero fridge in the kitchen, so stay tuned. If you want some more details, you can email me ahead of time. And Childs is the next one up at $579. And so it's a back split. It's on a 50 by 152, which is a massive property. And it does back onto the Nipissing commercial stuff, but it's got a big enough lot that you probably aren't too concerned about that. Living, dining in the front, and then you kind of look up into the kitchen here. And you've got granite counters in the kitchen. There's a slope ceiling in the kitchen, which is a very interesting visual effect. And they've kept it very well. So let's see what happens. I think this is certainly in line with what they've sold for in the past. I haven't seen that model sell in a couple years, but even on Childs, we saw some in the mid fives last year. So Menifee 624.9. We know it's more than 2,500 square feet, 9-foot ceilings. The thing about this builder, Mattamy does a good job with this, and believe me, there's things I don't like about Mattamy, but Mattamy does a higher door here. When you raise the ceilings up to 9 feet, don't give me a little 6.5-foot door that I'm going to hit my 6'4" head on. Give me a nice high door that I can let lots of light in, put a transom above it, do something there to just let some more light in. It has a huge effect. That's almost like a piece of art in your kitchen, is getting a good natural window in there. It's got a good sized lot too. It's about 38 by 100, or McColson School District. Nice stuff. I like this one a lot. Cochrane is 644, 2638 square feet, and nice upgrades in here. I don't know if the brown matches the sort of grayish stuff on the backsplash, but that's easy enough to change. I really like the floor plan of this model. It's a Plan 2. And like I said, 2638 square feet. So you've got a small den here, kind of wasted space in the foyer, but it is nice where you can actually have guests in. You can bring them in. Mattamy's not known for having huge foyers in their homes. Dining, kitchen, breakfast, plus the great room here. Upstairs, the layout works just fine. And yeah, so that's a good floor plan here. I like this one a lot. I think they priced it right where it needs to be. Pettit Trail is $649, and I believe this is the same model that's sold over on Laurier at 1080 Laurier. Nowhere near the same finishes as Laurier, and they sold that one for $600,000. So the $649 to me, even this comment here where it says income generating property, you tell me how you rent this one for a profit. I'd really like to see it, because it doesn't happen that way. Valley View is 714.9. It's a great street, very quiet and peaceful. One of my favorite streets in Milton. 80 by 100 foot lot, so it's very wide. It's not that deep, and it backs onto a ravine too. So they had this listed last year. I was inside of it. I actually think the finishes have been very well done. The kitchen is of, I would say, a very good quality, above average for the area for sure. There is a walkout, and there's a big deck in the backyard. You got a bit of a side yard off beside the deck, but it's not as deep as some of the other homes. But that's a beautiful view, seeing all the trees fill in. I like this one a lot. It's just, it doesn't have that depth that I think people want in the yard. That's the reason why I think it didn't sell last year. But I like the presentation, and like I said, the inside seems to be finished well from what I can tell. Sydenham is 774.9. It's a 3,200 square foot home. It's a wild rose. It's one of my favorite floor plans. I've showcased it before in Daily Homes. And the kitchen looks good. I find this is still high for this model, though. We haven't seen many of these cross 750. And let's see what happens. I mean, sometimes in New Year you can find just barriers get broken. I mean, a couple years ago there were a few of these that sold at 7. You add in the appreciation, you might find yourselves on the higher side of 750. So I think anything over 750 is going to be a bit of a challenge for them, but I also think it's a good looking place. Jelinek is at 829. It's a red cedar. Caught it right away because it's, again, one of my favorite floor plans. And what I love about this one, and they captured absolutely zero of this magic, is this little breakfast area here. So kitchen, and then you have this like turret where you can put a little breakfast table. Upstairs, it's the bridge between the ensuite and the master bedroom. There's this little retreat here. I love how it's set up, walk-in closets on both ends. Like, this is really, this section is like this hub. It's like a hotel room. I love the way this one's set up, and like I said, they showed absolutely zero of that magic in this floor or in the pictures. If you check the virtual tour, you will see some of the stuff. Like if you actually look on this picture here, you can see how nice that little round area is. I'm telling you, it's an awesome layout, and I still think they're not going to get 829 for it, but I do love the way this one's set up, and that's the list for today. So if you have any questions, give us a call. We have a buyer class coming up on Saturday, so if you want to register for that, it's perfect timing when we talk about how to get up to $10,000 of free government money to buy your first home. It's the exact perfect time because it is using a bit of a different twist on the RSP program that can really have a huge effect. So most people know one way to do the RSP program. We're showing you a whole other way. It's just a very simple twist, and it can have a huge effect on your down payment and how quick you can get into a home. So please join us for that. We talk about a lot of great stuff. It's about 2 hours, and again, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.